Inshallah. Brothers are requested gather closely, inshallah. Inshallah, Hafiz Ahmad will recite a few verses of the Quran, inshallah. Brothers are requested gather closely, inshallah. Many young faces, I'm sure they don't need to lean, inshallah. Brothers are requested gather closely, Jazakumullah. Abu Bakr Makkan, Bismillah. Abdullah, come on, inshallah. Qasim, come on. Bismillah. Brother requested gather closely, inshallah. Jazakallah, Jazakallah, brothers. Inshallah, inshallah. The more closer we shall sit, inshallah, the more barakah we shall gain. The more benefit the talk will have, inshallah. Brother requested, come closer, closer, inshallah. I'm still sure you're still young on that side as well.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوا يحاسبكم به الله فيغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, Jazakumullah. Inshallah, I call on Moulana Ashraf, inshallah, to come forward. Behja.
Before we make a start, can you everyone move forward, please? Move forward for Karen. Once again, as Allah mentioned, if you do not need to lean, then please don't lean against the radiators. You only encourages laziness. Abdullah, come move forward. So the good thing about being local is you know everyone's name, so you can tell them by name to move forward, and you're going to have to move forward. Salahuddin. Sit there. Sit there. Huh? The brothers are outside as well in the passage. Any young lads especially, if you could come inside. So I want to take responsibility for that throughout the bayan. I will be telling you guys to come inside as well. Inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. Abdul Rahman, can you come over here, please? Sit next to you over there. Sit there. There's a reason why I put young people at the front. I'll tell you if I get a chance during the bayan. Just come and sit behind Malam over here, please. Actually, I'll tell you now. You know, when us as elders listen to bayans, we were here to I want to see how good he does. When kids listen to the bayans, they just want to listen to what you have to say. They have pure ikhlas. So when you have people sitting in front of you with ikhlas, it's a lot more easier to talk. It's a lot more easier. There was a Mawsabi a few years ago, and he said, you know, at times when we listen to bayans, and we think, where did Mawsab get that thing from? He recites an ayah and he translates in some crazy way, and there's really good, crazy explanation behind it. So he mentions that when the crowd has ikhlas and they have that yearning to learn, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala automatically puts things into the speaker's heart. And then once the crowd starts losing the concentration, slowly the speaker finds it difficult to talk as well. And that's the one you sat here a few times, it's very true. At the beginning you're proper on it. When it gets towards the end and everyone starts looking around to see the foods here, you start finding it difficult to talk as well. So especially with the young people, they have ikhlas. And as we get older, that ikhlas kind of goes down. With anyone here, I want to see how good he does. What is he really going to say? And if he can't bother, then I'll just switch off. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. The starting the bayan is mostly the hardest because you just don't know how to start. The main part is very easy. So I was literally, just about 10 minutes ago, I was on YouTube. I'm going to back last year's bayan, see how I started last year's bayan. Now, today's bayan is slightly different. You guys have heard a lot of things, alhamdulillah, from different speakers about different things over Ramadan. But when someone locally speaks to you, they then address topics which are affecting the community and something which affects us all. Some which we know about, some which we don't know about. Some which we know about, but we kind of push into the topic, yeah, whatever, it's all right, it's not that bad. And some which we know about and they say we need to do something about it. So today, a lot of things that we mentioned will be local, inshallah. And it'll be experiences, some of you guys may be able to understand them and resonate with them. Some people might be hearing for the first time. And I can see we've got a variety of people, mostly youth, but I will be addressing everyone, inshallah, bits and bobs about so everyone can take something home, inshallah. Our local community isn't what it was 15, 20 years ago. The fikr, the concern that we had that many years ago, it's not there anymore. For the masjid, for the masjid, for our deen. 1 second, these things come off. And with that, we have lost our identity and we've lost our culture. The first thing we lost was our culture. The young people won't understand, the elders will understand. The first thing that we lost was our culture. And once we lost our culture, we lost our language, and once you lose the language, you've lost your identity. And once you lose identity, you've lost your iman as well. No one goes from one end to complete the other end straight away. It happens over time. It happens over time. Unfortunately for us, for the young and the old, because we wanted to adapt the culture which goes against Islam, and we find that more better and more fun, because of that, we are slowly losing our iman. Now we are just Muslim by name. We are just Muslim by name. Our name is just Ahmad or Muhammad or Zayd or Abdullah. But our actions are against Islam. I'll give an example. How many people there are in the masjid today right now? And then how many people will there be in about, let's call it 10 days time? Everyone needs to ask themselves a question. Where will I be in 10 days time? Am I still going to be here at 10:30? Cholo khair, let's forget 10:30. Isha is probably going to be most about what? 9:30 at that time? 9:30. Where will I be in 10 days time at 9:30? Will I be at home thinking Ramzan's done, dusted, let me stay at home now? Or will I be in the masjid? Am I going to continue? Will I be outside, I said, my boys on a Saturday night? Or will I be in the masjid? Are they going to take me out or am I going to bring them into the masjid? Which way around is it going to be? See, the thing is, guys, that again, like I said before, that we've adopted the culture that goes against Islam so far that we don't even realize that what we're doing is wrong. We think it's absolutely fine. We think that the guys that are calling us to the masjid are wrong, and the guys that take us to town and to out to eat for at namaz times and or going to a place where we're not supposed to go, they are the right one, they are the correct ones. That's what we think. If Musab says come to namaz, this guy's hardcore, forget him, man. But if my mate says let's go to the club, it's fine. My mate says go for a walk out and now let's go town just to see it's fine. But if someone says come on let's go for Isha, come on bothered man, I pray at home, come on man, we'll go tomorrow. We'll go tomorrow. That's our mentality now. Whether we like it or not, that's our mentality. And the mentality is only getting worse. It's not getting any better. I've done these bayans for about 3 years now, sitting in the same place, and it gets worse. You'll walk away from here, yeah, Musab, you said this was true, that was true, but then we just go back to normal again. Why? Because we don't see it saying to ourselves, I am going to change, I will make sure I change. And I'm telling you this as someone who teaches in madrasa, someone who teaches or works in a school, and someone that does a community work as well. Believe you me, we are only getting worse. The young are getting worse. And let me mention something here. We always blame the young people for everything that goes wrong. Now, maybe 15, 20 years ago might have been correct. I don't know. I was too young. I'm too young for that. Now that's incorrect. The younger messed up, the middle-aged messed up, and the elders are not messed up. Not everyone. Not everyone. But there are many. I'll tell you why. In our masjids, there's a lack of young people, there's a lack of middle-aged people, there's a lack of elders as well now. Every street you go to, you'll find elders that do not come to the masjid. They retired, but they don't come to the masjid. The dad comes to the masjid, the dad's 60, 70 years old, but the son won't. The son comes to the masjid, but the dad doesn't. The dad comes to the masjid, but the younger son, the grandson doesn't come anymore. The grandson comes, the father doesn't come. If the son tells the father doesn't like it. If the father tells the son doesn't like it. And I'm telling you again this from experience. I've got a student in my class, current year. When his dad's not in the country, he comes to the masjid. When his dad's in the country, he doesn't come to the masjid. Why? My dad said no. Honestly, my dad said no. That's why I don't come to the masjid. My dad said no, I'm not allowed. He says prayer at home is okay. So what's the point of this masjid? What's the point of just breaking and leaving? What's the point of the masjid then? Ask yourself. Because again, I'm going to be very open here, and it may offend a lot of people, but that's the honest truth. If I came here and lied to you, there's no point in me being here. You might as well just eat and go home. So if you get offended, you get offended. I'm not going to apologize for it. Because it's the honest truth. How many of you are in the masjid? I'll give an example. This was in October half term. Hafiz Man goes to work on Saturdays, so he can't make it for adhan. So sometimes he'll tell me to give azan. Asr at times at 3 o'clock. Asr azan takes place about 15 to 20 minutes before. I came to the masjid. Masjid's empty. Chalo khair, whatever, no problem. Gave azan. Sahiyya, prayed namaz. Asr is at 3 o'clock. At 2:57, I was still the only person in the masjid. Now I'm not saying I'm some really pious guy. I come early all the time. I'm late many times as well. 2:57, the masjid, 3 minutes before Asr Salah, the masjid is fully empty, not even one person except for myself. At 2:58, one non-local brother walked in. And then 30 seconds after him, a couple of guys came in. Why? Why is the masjid empty for? because we want to be at home, we rather go somewhere elsewhere. You can't tell me that all 1,000 or 1,500 males from Friendship were all on holiday or were all ill. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me every single person went to Al-Hidayah to pray the Asr, because Al-Hidayah is the same. James Street is the same. Where are you? Ask yourself a question. Sincerely ask yourself, where am I at namaz times? Am I at home? Am I chilling with my boys? Am I playing games? Am I watching TV? Am I watching movies? Where am I? Where am I? Our forefathers, our elders have built this masjid. Back in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, they made the effort. On the next door building, in the 1980s, they made this building. For who? Not for themselves. They were going to go. They know they're going to go. In a few years' time, I'll be gone. Why? For me and you. But subhanAllah, no more than 2 generations down the line, we basically stuck the middle finger up at them and said, you know what, I ain't coming. Forget you. You guys build it. We didn't tell you to build it. We don't need it. We don't need it. You know, one of my teachers, he once said in Dharma, this was he made a statement which is so scary. And he said, you know, Muslims, we fear that the government will shut the masjids down. We fear the governments will shut the masjids down one day. That will never happen. That won't happen. The Muslims themselves will close the masjids and walk away. Metaphorically speaking, the Muslims themselves will stop coming to the masjids and there will be no use for the masjids. There will be no use for the masjids. It's happening today. It's happening today. Come Isha in summer, once off. Not just for one day. One day, let's say there was something happening somewhere, everyone went there, no problem. For days and days and days on end, this will happen. For weeks on end, the entire winter, the entire summer, this will happen. Jummah, everyone's there. Not Jummah, we're not there. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back. Youngsters are now missing Jummah as well. Forget actually youngsters. Now we've got the middle age as well. Are missing Jummah. Missing Jummah. Why? I was sleeping. They missed Jummah for weeks. And I wouldn't be wrong if I said for months on end. Not like miss first Jummah and second Jummah. Why? Because you were sleeping at home. And the way they say, I was sleeping in it, so I couldn't make it. I was sleeping, so I couldn't make it. It said that if you miss 3 Jummahs, your iman is in question. These guys are missing Jummahs weeks on end. And even if you only are coming for Jummah, does your Allah only exist for Jummah? Is your Allah only, is it for the rest of the namaz? Are we praying to a different God? Does Mu'tahar pray to a different God for the rest of the days? But Jummah, we all come together to pray Jummah to a different God. Is that what it is? Is that who you are? As a Muslim, is that who you are? Why can't we bring ourselves to the masjid for? Again, because we've lost our identity as Muslims. We are just Muslim by Muhammad and Ahmad and Zayd and Abdullah. Just by name. My name is Muslim, so I'm Muslim. Don't worry, man. Allah will forgive me. Allah will forgive me. It's okay. Alhamdulillah, you got the yaqeen, trust in Allah, but Allah wants you to make your effort as well. Allah wants you to make your effort as well. If you get a car and you tell Dad, I'm going to crash your car, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, Dad, we got insurance in it, it's alright. Insurance will cover it. Hey, Dad's going to give you a start, going to take the keys off. Shut up, man. You're not getting no keys. Get the keys back. Are you stupid or something? Just because insurance, you're going to crash the car. So what, just because Allah is the most merciful, I'm going to miss my namaz. You know what, I might as well drink alcohol and take drugs as well. Allah is the most merciful. Allah is the most merciful. Yeah, but Allah can punish you the most as well. Allah is the most merciful when you make effort. And after making effort, if you still can't make it, then Allah is the most merciful. Allah is not merciful, well, yeah, Allah, I'm going to sin, yeah, you forgive me later on. Nowadays, there's another mentality which is crazy mentality. People ask, most young people ask this, yeah, but you can come out of Jahannam, innit? You can go Jahannam, come out, innit? I'm like, yes. So what are you trying to say? Yeah, but then it's alright, innit? Like, are you crazy or something? Do you realize how long Jahannam actually is? Do you realize how dangerous Jahannam is? You're saying, I'll sin, I'll go Jahannam, I'll pray kalima, innit? I can go Jannah after that. This is a mentality we've got. These are the young people of our area. These are the young people of our community. And to the elders I say, what example are we setting to our children, to our young people? When we ourselves not enter into the masjid, our kids don't see us come to the masjid. Every year I ask the same questions to my class at madrasa. Do you see your mom pray namaz? Do you see your sister pray namaz? Do you see your dad pray namaz? Majority of the times they'll say no. Fathers sometimes yes. Majority times those children have not seen their mom and sisters pray namaz. And I wouldn't be lying to you if I said this. I wouldn't be lying if I said this. The women, the females are worse, a lot more worse than the males. At least we know what's going on in the boys. We have no idea what's going on with the girls. No idea whatsoever. We have no idea what they're up to. We only hear the certain stories every now and again. But she's left Iman, or she's left Iman, or that person's done this and that person's done that. Why? Again, identity, culture. We've lost it. We've completely lost it. We would rather listen to that rap music from London or from America, where they're swearing, where there's vulgar language, or all they're talking about is killing each other, or doing this to someone's mum and doing that to someone's sister and stuff like that. And they want to act upon it. We think we're living in Brixton from London. Chill out, you live in Preston, Frenchwood, man. You're probably the smallest area in Preston. Who do you think you are? And I see this in schools as well. I see this in schools, the kids think they're gangsters. They think they're cool just because you've got a weird haircut, which doesn't look good on you. You went to the barbers, you couldn't pay him the full money, you paid him half price, only cut half your hair, now you got a show back and sides, you got a skin fade, because you couldn't afford for the top to be cut. I'm being sarcastic here, by the way. Because we can't sacrifice our looks for the sake of 60 years. Allah telling you, to sacrifice yourself for 60, 70, max 80 years. I will let you do whatever you want in Jannah. Whatever you want in Jannah. You can have whoever you want. You can look however you want as well. But nah, I have to keep up with the fashion. I have to look cool. You might look cool in front of your friends. You might look cool in front of the girls, but you don't look cool in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are sacrificing your Jannah. Remember that. You are sacrificing your Jannah. That's what you're doing. You might think it's minor, because there was a time when this was completely unacceptable. Even the parents would fear giving their kids shobak and sides or skin fades. I don't think skin fades didn't exist in those times. It was just shobak and sides. But now, even the parents are doing it themselves. These little minor things is taking people away from Islam and slowly destroying the Iman within our hearts. You listen to this music. You see these videos online that he's killed him, or he's got beef with that person, you want to enact the same thing. And then you get little young people and you get elders in Frenchwood walking around with knives in their pants and hammers in their pants. It happens. I'm telling you, I've seen it myself. And it's not a pretty sight when these young people start using those tools and they think they're gangsters. Because they think they live in acting again, London. They think they're living on the streets of London. Over minor things, they start fighting each other. And they're not fighting non-Muslims, they're fighting Muslims. As if there's not enough thing going wrong in the world, we're fighting Muslims. Because you think you're tough, you think you're hard just because you got a whole chimney coming out of your mouth. I'm talking about vaping. It might offend some people, but if there's one poison within our community, it's vaping. I don't care how offended you get, because it's not you that sees the results, it's we that see the results. I give you one example, which only happened 4 weeks of Ramadan, 2 weeks, 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago. It was such a scary incident for myself. A young lad, happened in school. It didn't happen in the school, he did outside the school, then he came to school. Alhamdulillah, he came into the school. Decided that mom dropped me off, I'm going to go for a quick walk first. The guy's outside, can you come inside please? All the boys come inside please, no point standing around outside. It does get a bit distracting. Jazakallah. So, about 6 weeks ago, he came into school. So what happened? Mom dropped him off, he decided to go for a walk. He meets someone else. Now they say the more generous people are smokers. Why? They're all ready to give you a fag. They share fags out like nothing, They're more, in that sense, the more generous people. So anyways, he goes out, he meets someone from another student. And that guy says, you know what, smoke this e-cig. Now you know what kids are like, they'll do it, they don't care. Everything's a buzz. I can't say no to him. Why? Because if I say no to him, I look weak. So I can't say it, so he takes it. Now he doesn't know that in that e-cig there's THC. In that e-cig there's THC. So he has it. Let's cut to why he comes to me. Now I'm inside a classroom, the teacher wants help, a student needs help doing something else. So I'm trying to help the teacher. I've got another student here with me. I'm trying to calm him down. And I see him walking towards me. The moment I saw him walking towards me, I knew there's something wrong. I knew there's something wrong. So he's got his red eyes. He's not walking straight. Now I'm thinking, right. I'm in my head, I'm thinking, I really hope he's not done what I'm thinking. Because I've got enough on my plate. It was the last day of school actually as well. So we've got loads going on. So anyways, so I thought I have to attend to him first. I told the teacher, you deal with what we need to deal with. I'll come back to you later. I told the student, you go back to your class. I'll deal with you later. I'll go up to him. You okay? Huh? Are you alright? Huh? I'm thinking, sugars, man. That's my day gone now. That's my 3-4 hours gone. It just takes one incident. Within your 3-4 hours are gone. So I took him into a room. Are you okay? What are you saying? What's happened? I don't know. His eyes are red. He's over the shore. Okay, sit down now, please. Now, for any of you who've done first aid, one of the things you have to do is try and keep him awake. Don't let them fall asleep. You have to do whatever you have to. Ask him about his breakfast. Doesn't matter what you ask him what he did. You have to keep him awake. Where have you been? Have you taken something? Yeah. What? I don't know. Who were you with? I don't know. Because we have to ascertain these kind of things so we can work out where he's been, who he's been with, who's given to him, why he's been taken, etc. He has no clue what's going on. I'm not lying. From within 5 minutes, he went from her to sobbing to his head was all over the shore. In that time, I have to support him. I have to call for help. I have to get his mum on the line, tell her to come back to school, pick your son up, take him to A&E right now. At the same time, I have to try and figure out what he's taken so we can tell his mom. So when she goes to hospital, she can tell him. He has no clue what time he left home, who dropped him off, where he went, what he had, how he came to school, who's talking to him. He has no clue whatsoever. Why? Because that vape. You don't have to deal with it, we do. You make your sales and you go home. Now, I'm not going to fiqh of this, whether it's halal, haram, whatever. You can ask the muftis that. I have my own personal opinion about this. But that's only one incident I'm relating. One incident I'm relating. It's one of the biggest poisons of our community. Every kid wants to do it now. If whether it's 10 years old, whether it's 20 years old, whether it's 30, everyone wants to do it now. And don't come and tell me, oh, this is the way of me getting off smoking, because that's not true. You end up smoking that more. People that don't smoke start smoking and then they get into fags instead. My point was, you start smoking this, you're a chimney, you think you're hard. You think you're tough. We've got boys. I've got 10 guys behind me, I've got 15 guys behind me. I'm hard. You won't go to the fight yourself, you have to have 15 guys with you, then you'll go. And then we get the words that, oh, we chased them out and we did this to them, we did that to them, we hit them like this, and then people start recording, and then it goes back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, and then no matter how many people try to resolve it, it never gets resolved. Because no one wants to resolve it. And nowadays the kids are like, yeah, what's up? Okay, no worry, don't worry, man, that's it, we've sorted now. And next thing you hear, they have the fight again. They just don't want to stop. They just don't want to stop. Why? Because that's the culture you want. You want to be, we want friendship to be the place where all the vibes are, where we're roaming on the streets and there's drugs on the streets and there's fighting and there's crime. That's what we want friendship to be, unfortunately. For so many young people, that's what they aspire. You ask them, I mentioned this last year, you ask one young person, what do you want to be? I want to be a drug dealer. He genuinely said, I want to do drugs. Like, why? Oh, my uncle does it and he makes loads of money from it. I'd rather stand on the streets and do drugs as well. That's our young people growing up. When you hear these things day on, day out, believe you me, you become depressed. Not because of the world, you become depressed at what's going to happen to the iman of our young people? What's going to happen to the iman of our young boys? Is this a society we're growing up in? Is this a society our children are growing up in? And again, not to be offensive, but the parents don't tell them to stop either. You get parents saying, I told him to sell the e-cigs. Yeah, I told him he needs to make money more sub. Like, he's 14, he's 30 years old, he doesn't make money right now, you give him the money. And if you're too poor, tell him, I'm too poor to work hard if I can't give you money. Don't tell him to do stuff like this. Now he's concentrating on selling things which are harming others. This is straight up. Don't defend your child when you're doing something wrong. One of the biggest barriers we have when we talk to parents is the parents refuse to accept their son is doing something wrong. And then when something really goes wrong, I'll talk to him now. One parent, is a while ago, I think last year, his son had a fight, just a standard fight happens, young boys, they end up arguing, they had a fight, and the parent, your son had a fight, okay. Initially he was alright, and then he's like, can I tell you something? I go, what? He goes, what kind of tarbiyat are you doing for your children? What kind of upbringing? I was like, so then I flipped it. I'm always, there's so much, thing I'm going to take. So I go, you're the dad, what kind of tarbiyat have you given your child? And he's like, yeah, Jazakallah. Come on, man. Why do you refuse to accept your child is doing something wrong? Hey, if you've seen it with your own eyes, and if you say to me, you know what, Musab, okay, I understand what you're saying, I'm going to go home, I'm going to ask my son, and then I'll take it from, that's different. Now my son, he would never do something like that. What are you going to wait for until he gets stabbed? Until he get a call, he's in hospital, is that what you're going to wait for? Is that what you're going to wait for? And then you're going to put your hands up and say something wrong? Or are you going to wait to go into your grave and say, oh Lord, and the angel punishment come to you, what kind of upbringing do you give to your child? I say, I didn't know, but you were told. Is that what you're going to wait for? Are you going to wait for our community to kill itself? Is that what you're going to wait for? Honestly, is that what you guys are waiting for? Until we wake up and say we need to do something about this. If you take responsibility of your children and of your younger brothers and younger sisters, then inshallah we'll have a better community. But until then we won't. We're just going to get worse and worse and worse. That's what's going to happen, we get worse. You have to make the effort. My young friends, you're not tough. I tell you who's tough. When you come across a situation when you don't eat food for 3-4 days on end, then you're tough. When you don't get water for weeks on end, you're sipping water from the floor, or you're going to a hand pump and you're taking water from there, then you're tough. If you can live in an environment where you don't know if you're going to live till the next day, then you're tough. If you live in an environment where you don't know if a bomb is going to drop on your house, or whether you're going to see your family in the morning, then you're tough. If you think you're tough, think back to those people that leave in the morning. They don't know whether they come back and they will see their family because they might get blown up. They are the tough ones. They say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. The people that are pulling out their children from under the rubble, dead or alive, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Alhamdulillahi ala kulli hal. Allah is the best of all affairs. Allah is the best of planners. Allah will help me. Allah will help us. Allah will help us forget the world. I don't care about the world. Allah will help us. They are the tough ones, not you. We will last 5 minutes in that environment. You think you're tough? Go and live that life first. You want to fight people? Go fight the real people. Actually fight your nafs first. You think you're tough? Live that life. Try and stay without water and food for days on end and still have your trust in Allah. That I trust Allah only, no one else, nothing else. I don't care about UK, I don't care about America, I don't care about France, I don't care about Europeans, I don't care about Arabs, I don't care about anyone. Allah will provide for me. Allah will provide for me. Allah will provide for me. Those are the tough people. Just because you got a knife in your pants, just because you got a vape in your pocket, just because you got boys around you, just because you can lift some weights, does not make you tough. The most dangerous people are the silent ones. The most dangerous people are silent ones. You've heard this before. You want to be tough? You want to be hard? Work on your nafs. Work on yourself. Be your own self up. Now what am I playing out? What kind of life am I living? What example am I giving? Where am I at namaz times? Why can't I not drag myself into namaz? Actually, let me say something else. Why can I make myself go to the masjid, but I am so bewakuf, I am so deprived that namaz is taking place, but I'm sitting in the passage. Namaz is taking place, but I will sit at the back by the radiators. Namaz is taking place, but I'm having a fag outside. I have not prayed tarawih for years, yeah? You say openly, I've not prayed tarawih for years, I'm always here. This is our spot. Namaz is taking place in SPCC, but you're sitting in a different building. You're being deprived. My respected brothers, Allah doesn't need you, you need Allah. We need Allah. Allah doesn't need us, we need Allah. This is your savings account. When you pray in namaz, you make your dhikr, you make your dua, you pray your Quran, you give your sadaqah. That is your savings account in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is you thank Allah. Allah, you keep this, and when I go through difficulty, Allah, I'm going to ask from you. Allah will say, right, okay, let me see how much you got in your savings account, metaphorically speaking, by the way. How much have you got in your savings account? Okay, child, you deserve my help. But now, I'm going to sin for 6 months, or I'm going to sin for 11 months, and then something goes wrong in my life, and I say, Allah, come on, please help me. Allah, please help me. And the next morning you want Allah's help. Allah doesn't help you. Oh, Allah didn't help me. I made so much dua. Maulana Sahib said, pray tahajjud. I prayed tahajjud. Allah didn't help me. Why? Why do you expect Allah to help you in one day? You sin for 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years. You want Allah's help in one day? You want Allah's help in one day? Yeah. If you're very extremely sincere, Allah will help you. If you're extremely, Allah will help you. Why do you I had a lad in school. He must have behaved for like 1 week, and he comes to, oh, mom shouts at me. I said to him, how long have you been misbehaving for? 3 years you've been misbehaving for. Why do you expect mom to trust you in 1 week? Why do you expect mom to trust you in 1 week for? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to take time. You've sinned to Allah for 10 years. Worship Allah for 10 years now. Yes, we have hope. Yes, we have yaqeen and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you have to make your effort. You have to make your effort as well. Until you don't make effort on yourself, you'll be nowhere. The skills that you have. I'm kind of moving on. I've got a few things. Kind of moving on now. Some of the young lads, you can't resonate to this now. But listen, you'll be able to... what's the easier way for resonate, man? I forgot now. You'll be able to relate to it when you get older. I'm mostly talking to the guys that are working class now. Working class. Working, or you got moved on and you got skills, whatever. You know, when you go to college or you got your grades in GCSEs, college degrees or apprenticeships, whatever, you then want to look for a job within that field, right? You want to progress in that field. My question to you is, why do we only want to progress in the world? Why do we not progress in our communities and in our deen? Then deen comes last. Oh, I pray 5 times namaz, it's okay. Yeah, it's fine, no problem. There's no progression. The namaz you prayed 5 years ago is still the namaz you're praying today. There's no concentration in it. How many people can sit here and say, I have got full concentration in my namaz? No one can say that. Let me tell you something. 4 weeks prior to Ramadan, Moulana Adam did 4 weeks on the spiritual streaks of Salah. How many people came? Hardly anyone. Hardly anyone. Believe you me, you go back. Go back onto YouTube. Each session is about 40 minutes, 160 minutes, 4 sessions, 2.5 hours of your time. Guaranteed. No word of a lie. Once you watch all 4 sessions, your namaz will never be the same ever again. Your namaz will be 100 times better. Guaranteed. Go back and watch it. Prove me wrong. Come back and say, Musab, I watched all 2.5 hours, but nothing changed. You will see namaz at a whole different level. The way he explained it. But where were you? Where's all those English speaking people? Oh, Musab, there's no bans in English. Musab, there's nothing for the youth. Where were you? Say it now. That there's no English bayans. Go and speak up, I dare you. Mu'tal had this dars on every Thursday night, this dars. Where are you? There's some sort of talim on a Friday night. Where are you? Go and answer the question. Where are you? Yeah, I'm just at home. I can't make it. It's not like you can't make it. You can't bother me. You can't bother making it. That's what the problem is. You can't be bothered making it. Going back to my topic. Your skills that you have, what are you doing with it? Whatever skill you have, for Allah's sake, use it within the community. I am so tired of saying this. Whatever skill you have, use it to better your community. You get paid for 40 hours of work a week. Sacrifice 1 or 2 hours and say, you know what? If I'm a doctor, I'll give free advice for 1 hour a week. If I'm a plumber, I'll help the masjids for 1 hour a week. If I'm an electrician, I'll help for 1 hour a week. If I'm a pharmacist, I'll give advice for 1 hour a week. If I'm an accountant, I'll give free advice on this for a week. Whatever skill you have, use it within the community. For Allah's sake, use it. You'll be questioned for yourself. Qiyam, Allah will say, what did you do? What did you do for your community? I'll give you an example for 1 week ago. Hafiz Shoaib Saleh, he had a skill. He used it all over the UK. When he passed away, everyone remembered him. Why? Because he had a skill and he used it for the community. He didn't use it at home. He didn't use it just in studios. He would go from masjid to masjid to masjid. I watched I think last year's bayan or the year before. I think it might have been the year before. And he was standing here. I'm sitting here and he's standing there and he recites in the nasheed. Why is he remembered? Not for sitting in his house, but because of his voice that Allah gave to him. Which janazas are the most crowded, the people that did something for the community. For those of you that sit at home and don't go to the masjid for salah, believe you me, when you die, people will say, who is he? I don't know who he was, but the people that constantly come to the masjid, even the people that don't come to the masjid somehow know them. Somehow Allah puts in people's hearts, Allah, they know who they are. And their janazas are crowded. Their janazas will be crowded. But when you're that person who hardly ever comes or turns up on Jummah or something like that, nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Whatever skill you have, use it within the community. Come to whichever leaders you feel comfortable and say, look, this is my skill. How can I use it? Come up with your own ideas. Why are you waiting for us to say something to you? Why don't you come to us? Why don't you go to Mu'tala and say, look Musab, I want this is what I want to do. I'm a doctor, for example. I'm good at medicine. There's plenty of people in our communities who are not feeling well. I will give you advice. Have that ikhlas, have that sincerity. I will give advice for free. You get paid anyway. Why are you going to lose out on 1 hour? Oh, but I don't have time. I don't have time. My family, this and other. The reason you don't have barakat in your time is because you do jack hole. You understand it now. When you get older, I have to use these guys' language, otherwise they don't understand it. If I use that language for these guys, then they don't understand it either. You don't do anything. You know the people that have the most barakat at time that do the most. Yeah, I'll give an example of a madrasa teacher, not because I am a madrasa teacher, and I take lessons from some of our elder madrasa teachers, yeah. Look up here like Hafiz Yasin, been teacher for 40 years, 50 years, he's taught 2 generations. He taught Masjid Preston, and he's still doing it. And if he doesn't complain about barakat in his time, who are you to complain? You get a madrasa teacher, all day he goes to work, he comes home. Some teachers, I'm alhamdulillah, at least I get an hour at home before I come. Some teachers come directly from work to madrasa. That means they start at 7 in the morning-ish, and they will leave till 8 o'clock, it's half 7, 8 o'clock. They go home, they eat, they maybe have about half an hour with their children. But that 1 hour is worth 10 hours to them. Because they got barakat in that time. You'll hardly ever hear a person who does the work of deen complaining about barakat in his time. The more work for deen you do, the more barakat you will get. Allah will give you barakat in your time. Allah will give you barakat in your health. Allah will give you barakat in your wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you barakat in your provisions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you barakat in your family. You get barakat in everything. In everything. Sacrifice your time. Forget your TVs at home. Forget your Instagram and your Facebook and Twitter and everything you keep wasting times on. Forget all of that. Sacrifice. Make the sacrifice. You make the sacrifice in this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have plenty of things for you to enjoy in the hereafter. Plenty of things. But nah, I can't bother. I can't do it. Every one of you has got a skill which you can use. Not everyone can lead namaz, not everyone can give bayans, not everyone can do youth work, not everyone can do aid work, not everyone can do something else, but there's something which each individual is good at. Do that. Do that. I'm going to give you 2 challenges today. Get involved in the community. You don't have to come through us. If you want to do something, if you've got your own kind of thing, do it, no problem. As long as it does benefit. I'm not harming anyone. Yeah. So use your skill. And come to the masjid, guys. Come to the masjid. Please come to the masjid. Come to the masjid. Yeah. You know, I was but just before Ramadan, I was thinking that our madrasa project, alhamdulillah, is coming on really well, mashallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taking the completion with ease and afiyah is really needed. As a madrasa teacher, I'm telling you, we need to get out of that building. I'm telling you from my experience, we need this new building now. That building it's all over the shore. This winter, believe you me, and alhamdulillah, and Jazakallah, my class, they battled through it. But that building it's not worth it anymore. We need to come to this new building. Our children are suffering. Our children are suffering. And Allah SWT take to with completion with ease. But I was thinking, apart from the others, some of the reasons that either are, that we are told, and some, that people kind of make up, whatever. Why is it taking us so long to come to that building? I was thinking, I thought, I'll tell you why. Because the masjid is empty. Until this masjid is not full, there's no barakat there. And if children are being taught there's no barakat here. What's one of the reasons why our children are being what's one of the biggest our children are being deprived of right now? They can't come to the masjid because they're halfway down the street. They're already down there. Before, if you guys remember, madrasa buildings here, every namaz, row upon row of children. These days you get children that don't see the masjid for weeks on end. For weeks on end, they won't say the masjid. Once, one lad in my class, not last year, 2 years ago I think it was asking about, every day I have a routine of asking about namaz and Jummah and stuff like that. So I said, where do you play Jummah? Do you play Jummah in Jamea? He goes, no. Why do you play Jummah? I went Faizan in Medina. Why? It's closer. Jamea is too far. Jamea is too far. Now, I'm going to make something very clear to you guys, yeah? I don't want anyone come back to me later on and accuse me of anything. I am not against Al-Hidayah. I'm not against James. I go there myself. Even in Ramadan, I go there myself. But believing me, it's used for the wrong purpose, by the young people. You can't come here, you refuse to come here. Some of you have grown up there now. Some of you have grown up there now. And now this is the effects it's having on young children, where they find Jamia too far. Today I said to one of my students, I've got Parental to make sure you come. Is he in James or is he in Jamia? Oh, he's in Jamia. Oh. He's actually not here. He's actually still not here. Go there when you have the reason to go there. If you're getting late, you're a bit tired, maybe it's raining too much. These are some of the reasons I use. Yeah? But bring your children to the masjid which your forefathers built. They spent so much effort. When they get paid £2 a week, they put 50p in for the masjid, they put £1 in masjid. Use it for the reason it's built. Otherwise, what should we do with this masjid? What shall we do? Shall we just lock here and leave it now? Yeah, shall we just lock here and leave it? Is that when you guys are going to be happy? And then when COVID came, oh no, the masjid is closed, what we're going to do? And everyone's crying and stuff like that. You know, the last day before the masjid shut down, this masjid was full, completely full. Why? Because everyone realized the masjid is not going to happen anymore. But now it's empty. Now back to square one again. Now back to square one again. Guys, we can't just rely on certain individuals to do something about something. We all have to make a collective effort. We have to make a collective effort. And for you young people, get this thing out of your head that the life is all about drugs, life is all about girls, life is all about clubbing and pubbing and vaping and smoking. You know, these days, some of you guys will be able to tell what I'm kind of leading towards, yeah? Weed has become normal. Yeah, standard man is all right. It's only weed. It's only weed. Whereas 15 years ago, you smoking weed, that's really bad. That's drugs, that's the high end of drugs. Forget cocaine and that. Weed, what are you playing at, man? You're smoking weed. Now everyone's, and you know, again, something which really, again, cheesed me off. Parents say, oh, Musa, we did it when we were young. You saw, I let them do it. You give me the guarantee that your child will be able to come off it when he gets to 20, 25, and then I'll leave him alone. You give me a guarantee. No problem, I'll leave him alone. I'll stop talking about it. Can anyone stand up and say, Musab, I guarantee it? Because we all know people who are 30, 40, 50 years old smoking weed. Don't we? All the guys, come on. Don't we? Did they come off it? No. Guaranteed when they were 15, 16 years old, they said, nah, 5 years, that's it, I'll be fine. How many of you said, when I get older, I'll keep my beard? Have you? No, you haven't. When I get older, I'll pay namaz. Have you? No, you haven't. Now we're getting worse. Now we've got THC, now we've got balloons, now we've got sweets as well. You can't trust what sweets anymore, because even that's a drug. They look like sweets, they look like, what do you look like, jelly beans or something? Yeah, they look like jelly beans or something. You eat, that's a drug. You can't trust that anymore. Weddings, elderly people doing balloons. When I say elderly, I'm talking like 30, 40-year-olds, yeah? Balloons, laughing gas, haram, haram. Go online and instead of watching music videos, type in documentary on THC, documentaries on laughing gas, documentary on balloons, and you see how many people have been affected by it. I dare you to go and do it, because you won't do it. You know why? Because you know if you do it, you end up, so you have to stop doing it, because now you're feeling guilty. So you won't do it. It's like you're not going to a doctor because you know the doctor's going to tell you got diabetes. It's a genuine thing. Some people just won't go to the doctor because they know if I go, he's going to diagnose me something and then I have to fear for my life even more. He doesn't know, so I won't go to a doctor, it's alright. So that's how you watch it. It's a harsh truth, guys, but it's something which we're going to have to listen to. Something which we have to change. My dear friends, stop fighting with each other. Where's the unity? There's a whole nation in one place. We want the Muslim Ummah to be united, and we are divided. We are divided. We're fighting amongst ourselves. We're fighting amongst ourselves over what? Over he talked to my bird and he talked to my bird, or he talked to my ex and she talked to my ex. Or because he took this from me and he took my line and he took drugs from himself, taking drugs from me. Or because he pushed me and he pushed me. That's it. Is that what we're going to fight over? Is that even worth it? Is that even worth it? There was a time when we were in school where every single Muslim would look out for another Muslim. When we were in Christ the King, it's like a whole ummah in there. The guys that went Christ the King will know. The guys out of this school, I don't think you can really relate to this. But Christ the King, it was like a whole ummah in there. Everyone looked out for each other. And even when there used to be a bit of an argument or a fight between some of your own boys, you sort it out yourself before the teacher even got there. Now, fight, hit him, do this. I'm talking from experience. Sometimes I start laughing like, what are you boys doing? The kids tell me in school, why can't you take it? Sometimes I'm just laughing at you guys like, what are you doing? You're destroying yourselves, man. You're destroying yourselves over who's more hard. Yeah, but he said this to me. He said he can bang me in it, so I have to prove to him that he can't bang me now. And then he ends up getting banged anyway. What have you proven to everyone? The more dangerous people are the silent ones. The more dangerous people are the silent ones, because this guy doesn't do anything. No one knows what he's capable of. No one knows what he's capable of. You're not tough, you're not hard. Unite yourselves instead. Work against your nafs. Work against your nafs. You think you're tough and you can lift 50 kg, 100 kg, 150 kg. MashaAllah, well done to you, you're hard. In the gym, you're hard. But I tell you what I want you to do. At the time of Fajr, when your alarm goes off, lift off that 1 kg instead. Let's see how tough you are then. No, I can't. It's too heavy then. You can't lift off that 1 kg. It's too heavy then. So who's the tough guy now? You're shaitan. You're your nafs. You're the tough guy now. You want to control everyone else. Yeah? He has to do what that's you. You get these group leaders, kind of gang leaders. They stir everything up. They stir the pot. Yeah? They make people fight and they stand back. After. Hey, that's all they do. Yeah? Bang him, man. Bang him. Come on, bang him. Do this to him. But he's standing in the back. He's this guy recording. And then it happens in school. When the teacher comes, then he starts getting all mouthy and the papa starts to jump in because he knows the teacher's here. He's going to stop me now. I won't get banged anymore. Yeah, you guys simply start fighting. They start giving you verbals. Until the teacher doesn't come, he doesn't throw any punches. Because now when the teacher comes, he knows that even that guy can't punch me anymore. So I'm going to pretend like I punch and go, I banged him, me. So that's what young people do. You think you're tough? Work on your nafs. Work on your own self. Get yourself out of bed. Get yourself to namaz. What was I saying before I went on to that fighting again? Anyone? What was I saying? Huh? Muslims against Muslims. Muslims against Muslims. What kind of world? Is this what the Prophet would have wanted? Just think to yourself, if the Prophet came into this Jama'at Khana, or if the Prophet was to be told about the different things that Muslim Ummah is getting up to, is he going to be happy with Muslim Ummah? He won't recognize us. He won't recognize this kid. It can't be my Ummah. This can't be my Ummah. This much division between them, that even in the same area they can't live together. Even neighbors can't live together. Is this the Muslim Ummah that I cried for? Is this a Muslim Ummah that I sacrificed myself for? Huh? Is this the Muslim Ummah our Prophet ﷺ sacrificed himself for? You know that some of the worst things about working with young people, as in not in outside, in school, is sometimes, I'm not saying the school, I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to stick over the school. Those of you that know me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to stick over the school, neither I'm going to go against the school. Otherwise I will have a job on Monday probably. Not too bothered anyway. But you know, it's not all doom and gloom in school. You get 95% students, alhamdulillah, fantastic. If you don't believe me, ask the students that go there. But you get those 5% which we always hear about. Yeah, but then compared to other schools, I have to say now, maybe a year or two ago I was of a different opinion, but since I've got other friends that work at different schools and I've got other students coming from other schools to our school now, I think there's a lot less issues here than there is other places. Maybe the behavior policy is quite harsh here, yeah, but there's less issues here, believe you me. The drug issues at other schools and I won't get into, but the other issues in schools is a lot more way worse than here. So anyways, one of the worst things about this working in the school is when you get parents ringing you and saying, Musab, help me. I don't teach my son. You know, it takes a lot of courage from a parent to say, to me, I'm a nobody to them. Maybe he might listen to you. No, and going back onto vapes again, yeah. I've seen my own eyes, a student, such a calm student, very nice, respectful student. He wasn't clever, but he was very nice. He went from being that to being an aggressive monster. He's an aggressive monster. Sometimes I look at his face, I just want to turn away. It's because of the vape and the things that he puts in his vape. It led him from one thing to another thing to another thing and to another thing. And now every single day before he comes to school, he has to have something. Sometimes he doesn't end up coming to school. Every day I have to ring his parents. I've been ringing his parents for the past, he started towards the end of last year when he was in year 9. He's still doing it. He can't get himself to school. He has to spend an hour or 2 hours outside with his friends, bad company, which I'm going to come on to as well, if I get time. If food doesn't arrive. As soon as food arrives, inshallah, I'll end, inshallah. I talked to his parents. Initially, his parents were a bit thinking, is it really my son doing this? Then they realized my son is doing this. Carry on, meeting after meeting after meeting. Now the parents are absolutely sick and tired of him. We have meeting, and in the last meeting, it was, it's harsh to the parents sometimes. His dad said to me, Musab, yesterday, after Tarawih at 11:30, I know my son likes takeaway. I went out. I never done this in my life. I went to town. I got him takeaway. I sat him down. I fed him takeaway. I explained to him, beta, go to school. I spoke to him so nice. He said, Dad, don't worry. I'll go. Don't worry about me anymore. Forget about your worries. I'll go to school. I explained him to him so much. And 9 o'clock in the morning, you're ringing me saying he's not in school. He couldn't do it. He just can't do it. Why? Because that friend said, come with me, forget going to school, man. Come with me. He said, I've told that guy's dad and mom that don't let my son come with your son, but if my son doesn't listen, what am I supposed to do? And then his next comment was, my son will not rest until I die. And when I die, he'll say, a good riddance, my father's going to can do whatever I want now. Imagine sitting there, his mom was sitting there, he's got a 6 months old baby brother sitting there. He's not saying, beta, there's 7 of us in the house. I do some random, this menial jobs I do. I can't feed everyone. I need you to support me, but you're a burden on me. You know how difficult it is for parents to say that in front of a stranger? I'll give you another one which is even worse. This guy, some things don't blame him for, but some things I do, a lot of things I blame him for what he's done. He just can't behave. Yeah, again, very aggressive person. Because of the things that he takes. He changes his mind, he flips out like that. He flips out. He doesn't care who he's talking to after that. He could be teacher, student, mom, dad, doesn't matter who he's talking to. Anyways, meeting after meeting after meeting, dad's getting frustrated. Alhamdulillah, dad's extremely supportive. He's begging for du'as, etc. And one day we sat him down, and there was about 4 to 5 teachers there. And one was a non-Muslim teacher, and it was even more embarrassing because he was there. And we're talking, Dad, your son does this, he's done this, he said this to this teacher, he said that teacher is being aggressive. And Dad's like, I'm trying, what am I supposed to do? Bearing in mind that his dad's got a few conditions, right? And his dad just eventually broke down in tears. Imagine, he's probably about in his early 40s. A father is crying in front of 4, I think it was 40s. He went in and out. Like all teachers want to complain about him. So he was in and out, but there's about 4 of us there. And his dad started crying in that room so much so he had to take his medicine out. We had to get bottom water, give him his medicine. And then in front of the teacher, I felt really bad for him. But his son, his son didn't. He goes, you know what, I'm about to go to a petrol station on New Hall Lane, put petrol myself and die now. I'm sick and tired of him. It had no effect on him whatsoever. He sat there like this. Do you know what that non-Muslim teacher said to that student? I've been teaching for 14 years. I've had meetings for 40 years. By far, this is the most... what word did you use? This is the most... no, one second. This is the most... I forgot the way I had it before. But he was basically saying this is the most saddening meeting I've had. This is the worst meeting I've ever had. Like having a father sit there crying and say, I'm going to kill myself instead because you don't listen to me. And he doesn't listen to me. Guys, especially if you got children, if you don't do tarbiyah of your children, right, you're going to end up in the same position. Now, let me just clarify something here. You got parents that do tarbiyah of their children, and they do tell their children, but the child doesn't listen. That is different. Then we don't blame the parents. You've tried. But then you got parents that don't want to tell their children. I think Mu'tala mentioned this really beautifully on that first couple of days of Ramadan. When I say, look, children, we come to the masjid, yes, alhamdulillah, bring them, no problem, right? They're messing around, yes, that's going to happen. But then to completely ignore it and say nothing and say they're going to do it, is wrong. Yeah, Mohtara mentioned, tell him nicely, okay, beta, this is a masjid, we don't behave like this. We know they're going to do the next day. Doesn't matter, let him mess around next day, tell him again the next day. What you can't do is ignore it and say, no problem. Because that child then grows up thinking, this is the place to mess around. The tarbiyah is, that you mess around, look, talk quietly, door around, try and walk. He runs the next day, tell me the same thing. Runs the next day, tell me the same thing. Same thing. Doesn't matter, tell him again and again and again. I'm not telling you to hit him. I'm not telling you to shout at him. I'm not telling you don't bar him for the masjid. That is wrong. I agree, that is completely wrong. But do the tarbiyah of your child. Do the tarbiyah of your child. If your child still doesn't listen, for the rest of your life, continue to tell him. The problem we have is this, right? And for those that might have grandkids or a lot more older and your kids are older, don't stop telling your kids to pray namaz when he's 18 or you leave him alone. No, that is again very dangerous. Whether your son is 60 years old or 50 or 40 or 80 years old, if you want to be over 100 or something, still tell him to pray his namaz. Still, it's your responsibility. You can't just say, oh Allah, my son's 18 now, I'm done, I'm going to sit back and relax. Still, it is still your responsibility to tell your son, your daughter, your wife. The wife is responsible to tell her husband and the children. The children are responsible to tell their parents. Everyone is responsible to remind each other to be good. Pray Quran, pray namaz, make dhikr, make dua, give sadaqah. 5 things. You want to be successful, 5 things. Salah, Quran, dhikr, dua, sadaqah. In your daily life, do that. Inshallah, you'll be free of problems. You get problems in life, but not that bad, inshallah. But what we can't do is say, my son's old, leave him now. My daughter's old, leave her now. I'm not going to try to wear the scarf anymore. Tell her again. Doesn't matter if she doesn't listen. Tell her again and again and again and again and again until you die. And do your wasiyah that when I die, I want to be good Muslims. Don't say, take my mansion, take my house and take my car and take my money. Tell her the first thing, put this first sentence, be good Muslims. Don't give up your iman. Do not give up your iman. Teach your children iman. When you have grandchildren, tell your grandchildren pray namaz. If your son doesn't listen, tell your grandchildren. Maybe he will listen. When he listens, you will listen. Maybe your son will listen as well. I know of students who have gone home, told their parents, Dad, my Musa said I have to go to namaz. Out of shame and embarrassment, that brings you to namaz. Another dad starts praying namaz as well. But how embarrassing is it for me to tell my students that go home and tell your dad to come namaz? Why? Why do I have to do that for? Because you don't do it. It's embarrassing for me, yes, and I feel guilty sometimes. That what's the parent going to think? This guy Musab is standing home telling me to giving me orders, but I'm not getting orders. It's out of fikr and concern, because when we come to the masjids again, the masjid is empty. One of the groups of people on day of Qiyamah that will be under the shade of Allah's kursi, Allah's throne, will be those people that inhabit the masjid. It's not hard to gain the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No. It's not difficult to gain the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's easy. We just don't want it. We just don't want it. It's so easy, guys, so easy. Once you get used to it, you start buzzing. If you're under 18s only. Okay? Let's start with under 15 actually. So if you kids over here, so going from the front door. Everyone has attention, we can just keep it here for now. Yeah? If you guys want to sit down tea over there. So under 15s only for now, yeah? And then we'll move on to over 18s story. Yeah? Go quietly, please, boys, go quietly. Okay, I'll finish off as well because the fuse is going to arrive soon for the elders as well. But I think with the kids gone, we can talk a bit more openly as well now. With the kids gone, rest of you move forward, please. So we don't have people running off on the back. Hey, sit down. You sit down as well. Hey, Mutara, you sit down as well. Yeah, you sit down as well. This is a good job being local, you know the name, they have to listen, but you got nothing about it. Anyways, so I was saying, I was mentioning about telling the kids, about madrasa and telling them that they have to tell their parents to come to the masjid. But so gain the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On day of Qiyamah, the sun will be 1 mile above our heads. Everyone knows that, right? We'll be sweating from head to toe, depending how much sins we've done. Who doesn't want shade on that day? Who doesn't want shade? Everyone wants shade on there. Inhabit the masjid, guys. You got your shade underneath the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inhabit the masjid, inhabit the masjid, inhabit the masjid. Company, do you know your best friends? Yeah, because there's a lot of youth here as well still. And there's a lot of elders here as well. Doesn't matter, we can't say relate because now, alhamdulillah, we say we're youth till 6 years old anyway. You know, your best friends that you have are the ones that will, if you don't see in the masjid, they'll ring you and say, hey, to Fajr, where were you? Where were you for Fajr? He, without thinking, without anybody, he's gonna feel embarrassed or whatever. Where were you for Fajr? Where were you for Zuhr? Where were you for Asr? Where were you for your Maghrib? Where were you for Isha? I didn't see you yesterday. Where were you? That's your best friend. That is your best friend. Your best friend isn't that person who says, Sallah, come on man, let's go here, let's go there. You know, I met a couple of lads and I see, alhamdulillah, because I got the numbers on the status, they must have gone out to eat. Yeah, mashallah, they went out to eat Liverpool, they went to eat Manchester, they went out to eat a few other places as well. So, last week actually, last Friday or Saturday, I met him outside. Okay, Tyler, I'm going home. Why? I'm tired. I need to go work. And I go, so you can go to Bolton to eat, you can go to Manchester to eat, you can go to Liverpool to eat. But when I come sit in the masjid, I'm tired. I need to go to work. So I come down. I needed to go to work then. But all of a sudden now I need to go and I'm worried. All of a sudden I'm worried now. Why? When it comes to Allah, Allah can't wait, innit? Allah can't wait. When it comes to my dunya, Allah needs to serve me straight away. When it comes to my dunya, Allah serves me straight away. And if Allah doesn't, then who is he? Who is he? That's the level of iman that we have. That's the level of iman that we have. So your company makes a big difference, guys. In the school, we see the same thing. When a person comes and say induction in school, I make it very clear to the parents. Okay, listen, make sure you tell your son one thing. If he gets into bad company, he's gone. I'm telling you from now, if your son gets into bad company in this school or any other school as well, he's had it in this day and age, very difficult to come back. If your son has good company, he'll do well. But tell you, there's no middle ground anymore. Back in days, we had the really good guys, we had the really bad guys, we had the middle guys. Now, it's two completely different things. Is it the bad or good? You choose. You choose, bad or good. It's up to you. Which way you want to go? Which way you want to send your children? You tell your children, every day tell him, Beta, don't make any don't make any bad friends. Don't make any bad friends. If you got friends that become bad, leave him. Doesn't matter how much he hates it, leave him. He's going to do hiding for 1 week. Leave him. Move away from him. He's no use to you. I'll tell you what will happen when you get to 21, 22, 23. So let's go back a bit. If some people feel that when they don't do like drugs or anything, they don't do any much haram. Everyone does sin. Everyone who says they haven't done sin is a liar. Yeah, everyone does sin. But when you go into too much deep things, right? You start feeling, I've missed out. I missed out. I didn't do this. I didn't smoke that. I didn't go to the club. I didn't go to the pub. I didn't jog. I wonder why I must have felt that my boys were all buzzing. I used to in house all night. Let me tell you something, guys. And for the young guys, don't get into it. I'll tell you what happened. You'll suffer initially, like in terms of emotionally a bit, but after you're buzzing. When those very same friends get to 21, 22, 23, 24, guess what? Those guys will come back to you and say, Allah, you've not done all this. Will you help me, please? I need to stop now. Please help me. That is when you'll feel, 20 people. If you're under 18, and if you're not in my class, you can go. If you're in my class, stay. I'm going to ask you questions tomorrow. And if your dad says you have to stay as well. If you're under 18, you feel free to go. If anyone's really hungry as well, then you can go. If anyone else is feeling really hungry, any elders as well, okay, you feel free to go. Khalid, how long for until ever? 10 minutes, 50 minutes? Are you planning it? Sorry guys, okay, that's fine. Okay, like I said guys, if you really want to leave, then I won't stop you. I've been talking for an hour now, and I won't blame you if you leave, inshallah, but I think maybe about 10-15 minutes max, inshallah. You're not going to do anything, you're going to end up chilling anyway, so you might as well listen. Where was I? Yusuf? When you're 21, 22 years old, let's call it 25, those same friends will come back to you and say, come on man. 20 minutes. Looks like you're swearing at me, man, Simo. 20 minutes is a long time. Tell Tony to hurry up. Anyways, those same friends will come back to you and say, please will you help me? I need help. That is when you will realize, actually I didn't miss out. I'm the one that did good, and now alhamdulillah, not because of my own self, So will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm not able to help others. You're going to suffer for 6, 7, 8 years, bas. Then those same friends, and you will now have more value for each other than anyone else. Believe you me, the friends that you make, or that you go back to at the age of about 24, 25, will now remain with you for the rest of your life, and they'll be the most trusted friends. The friends you have and the people you're close to from about 14, or let's call it 12, till about 20, 24, or let's call it 21-ish, they're not your closest friends. They're going to leave one day. But the guys that you go back to, you make friends after that age, you will more than likely remain friends for the rest of your life. They will rely on you and you will rely on them. They will rely on you and you will rely on them to such an extent, you will call them at 5 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, and they will answer the call and say, what do you need? They be a family to you. When you have a problem, you go to them. When they have a problem, they come to you only. They don't go to anyone else after that anymore. That's the kind of friend you need to be. That's the kind of person you need to be. Now it doesn't matter how old you are now. If we work like this as a community, then we won't need counseling and this and other, because we can't trust each other. We can't trust each other. And your friends group should remain very small. Let me clarify again here. It's not bad to know people. It's not bad to know people. Know everyone. Know 1,000 million people if you want. But your closest friends, don't try that guy who wants to be a best friend with everyone. Because when you try to be a best friend with everyone, no one's your best friend. No one's your best friend. Then you're just a normal guy. You should have very few closest friends, and choose your friends wisely that want good for you. Whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad, they want good for you. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, they want good for you. They're happy when you're rich, they're happy when you're poor. Not the kind of guy, oh, where did he get that money from? Oh, why is he driving that car for? Oh, why did he buy a house like that for? No, those kind of friends, forget them, man. Forget them, leave them to the side. Eventually they realize that they made that mistake. Let them come crying back to you later on. Forgive them and accept them. Forgive them and accept them. Your company makes a big difference, a massive difference, guys. Huge difference. It's very, very important. Company, whether young or old, is very, very important. Get into the company of the good people. Even if you're middle-aged or elderly people, make good friends. Have friends that will bring you to the masjid. Have friends that will bring you to the masjid. Have friends that will say, come on, let's do something for the community. You know what? Going back to on community work. You know, a person passes away, people are remembered for what they did for the community, not what they did for themselves. People are only, I was in Trafford Center, I'll give this example a lot. I was in Trafford Center once, and I was going to pay namaz. Right? And saying, so where's the namaz room? And if you're on that side of Trafford Center, walk all the way that way and then walking all the way back. Now Trafford Center, for a person like me, is absolutely used, so you end up doing window shopping there. Everything's so expensive. Yeah? You just end up going there, you play the game of bowling and that's it, come back. Best of you. There's no point in shopping there because it's way too expensive. No point wasting money there. Some young guys go there and they spend, one guy, he went there for one day, spent 350 quid. So subhanallah, you're 17, 18, you spend 350 quid. Right? Anyways, so I was just walking towards the masjid. I was looking at all these people walking this way and that way. All non-Muslims as well, mostly. Right? I was thinking, we've got this purpose in mind, a plan in mind, and go there, pray my namaz, come back for this time, and back home for this time, Isha at this time. Look at these people. There's no purpose in life. They just walk, they wake up, they eat, they watch TV, they go out, they come home, they watch TV, they eat and go to sleep. Is that the life you want? Why? Is that why Allah created me and you? Just to chill, relax, watch TV, and that's it. Bas, tell you, go home. No. Allah's made us for a purpose. Use your skills. Do commit to it. You be remembered forever and ever and ever. Etch yourself into your community. Sign yourself off. You know, some of the I'll come back to this. It's hard. It's not easy. It's really, sometimes it puts you off. When Youth in Action, when we reignited Youth in Action, is back in 2018. I took my class 10 at that time. They're the first group of students I had. But when eventually they go off, they don't come because they get older, they have other things to do. Right? And you get a period in between where hardly anyone turns up. And I was going there every single Friday night, and sometimes some guys might come, sometimes no one turns up. And I used to think to myself, Sakela, leave it, I can't bother with this. Let's just close it. No one comes anyway, what's the point? Just leave it. But you know, Hafiz Shoaib was one of the guys that used to come on those nights and used to entertain us, and he's kept us going for a while actually. He's come there doing nazams, and he used to have a bit of fun with them, and he's kept us going. Anyways, but then All of a sudden, you get a whole bunch of new group coming. I think it's alhamdulillah, we're on it. And then they disappear, and then they're on it, and they disappear. We're now in 2025. In 2018, I would have never have thought to myself that in 2025, we will have a group of 45 young boys coming on a weekly basis to Youth in Action. Now I'm thinking to myself, I'm glad I didn't give up. It's hard. It's not easy. You want to give up. You feel like giving up. You feel like you're useless. It's pointless me doing anything. But and the most amazing thing is, some of the lads that were in the first batch of group of boys that came, some of them have now started to come as volunteers now. Now we're seeing that recycle. Now we're seeing the benefits of it. How many years down the line? 6, 7 years down the line. Not 6 months. 6, 7 years down the line, you see a difference. You start your work now, you will see. Doesn't matter what you've done in your history, man. Who cares what you've done before? You turn to Allah, you make your tawbah, done. Forget about it. It doesn't matter how big of a sinner you are. Make sincere tawbah, Allah will forgive you. Doesn't matter. Just stop it. Just stop whatever you're doing. Don't think, I've done it till 30, I've done it till 40, I'm going to carry on now. Just stop it. Just wake up one morning and say, Allah, done. Allah, I'm finished. I say, Allah, I'm 22 now. Allah, please forgive me. Cry yourself away in tahajjud and say, Allah, I've done all the wrong things in my life. I want to change. I am going to change. People say quit smoking over time. Forget quit smoking over time. Just quit it one day, man. Who cares? It's going to be hard. Like most Mullah listen to drugs ban. He says, if you have to die, die. But don't be a bad effect on your community. I have to smoke weed. I'll take my drugs because if I don't, I'm going to die. He says, die if you have to die. But stop it. Stop it. Who are you to make the community cry? Who are you to make your parents cry? To destroy the lives of your family, to destroy the lives of the future generation. Believe you me, if we carry on the way we are, I hope I'm wrong in this, but give it 2 generations, we'll be Muslims by name in this country. There will be no Muslims left in this country. If we carry on the way we are. We have to change. We have to change. You have to stop. Make your tawbah to Allah. Allah is the most merciful. What did He say in the Quran? And I'm not one who normally mentions Quran ayahs and hadith, etc. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي أَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. He says, and when my servant, Allah didn't say just a servant, He says my servant. He's telling me and you, you're beloved to me. You're beloved to me, you're my servant. Don't go to anyone else. Don't ask forgiveness for anyone else. You're my servant. Mine. Ask from me. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. When you ask from me, He is reminding you, don't tell others. Talk to me. عَنِّي. Talk to me. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ. He says with emphasis, verily I am close. Verily I am close to you. Your friends, they run away from you. Your parents will leave you. Everyone else, your community will leave you. But Allah does not leave you. Allah will say, وَإِذَا صَدَقَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. I will answer to your du'as. I will answer to your du'as. Make your du'as to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Suck brother, suck sister, suck mom and dad for now. Talk to them later. Talk to Allah first. Talk to Allah first. Suck your friends. Suck the counselors. Don't come to me. Go to Allah first. Because until you don't want to change, no one can help you. You can't say I want to change, but if you don't have in your heart to change, you will never change no matter what I do to you. No matter what Moulana does to you. No matter what the Masjid does to you, you will never change. Never. You have to have it within you that I want to change. If a person's drowning, but he doesn't want to be saved, you try and save him, you're going to drown yourself. A person drowning, he puts his hand out, he wants to be pulled out, you pull him out, you save him, you save yourself. But until you don't want to change, no matter what the community does to you, you will not change. Why do you want to live in a community where drugs are rife? And this is what the youngsters want. Unfortunately, this is what the youngsters want. No matter how hard we're trying to stop it, there's always some stupid people that will come and mess everything for us. Everything, like I said, it's only weed. Guarantee me that I won't take cocaine tomorrow. Guarantee me that I won't take heroin tomorrow. Guarantee it. Because I've seen it. I've seen it. And if I've seen that much, imagine what Moulana has seen over the past 15 years. I'm looking at people here that want to live their life. You know, I'm not saying don't enjoy life. I'll be the first one to say enjoy your life as well. As long as it's a remix of Islam. Enjoy it. I do it myself. For those of that know me, I do it myself. Alhamdulillah, wherever can I enjoy my life? No problem. Islam says as haram. But to enjoy in a haram way is wrong. I said it a few years ago. Young lads went to cars. No problem, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but be sensible. If there's a wedding, and you really want to do it, I'd rather have you spending £500 on a car than go to a casino on a wedding now and pay £500 there and do gambling there. That's what happens, isn't it? People go on a few days before the wedding, they go to the club, they go to a casino, they go stuff like that. That's what they do. I'd rather you spend that money and be skinned now and have a car rather than do that. In the community, let that youngster enjoy himself for 3 days. Let him enjoy himself for 3 days. No problem. But when you're doing it constantly, without reason, just because I want to drive a fast car, that's wrong. Now you're wasting money. Because now you're terrorizing your community. By going up and down at 1 o'clock in the morning on Friendship Avenue. I live on Friendship Avenue, I know. Sometimes I wake up, I'm looking out the window, who is this person? And there's people sitting in this Jama'ah that do it, so they know who I'm referring to as well. They do it. Enjoy yourself but at the right times. Use the money, go on holiday by the right times. Go to the right places. Go for Umrah. Why just go to Dubai only? While every single fitna in the world is present there. The most dangerous city in the world is probably Dubai. Honestly, every fitna, every sign of Qiyamah is present in Dubai. Sometimes I think I've never been there. And to be honest, I don't have a hope in going there either. Because if I die in that place, I've had it. Because it's a place full of every sign of it. They've cried out signs of Qiyamah which no one in the world does. I'm not saying it's haram to go there, okay? The reason I say because I might end up there one day, so I don't people come, you went to Dubai, you said you're not going to go. Yeah? I've been to the airport, in 1999 went to the airport, that's it, that's the last time, that's when I never went, I don't hardly remember it. All I remember is went in Emirates and we got a free hotel, that's what I remember. And we got them tupples, them soft ones in the hotel, we brought them home as well, like we normally do. Anyways, but guys, this is not, the aspirations we have for our community is not good. It's not good. It's not good at all. This gangsterfied, fighting, thuggish life, beating each other up, jumping on the bandwagon, oh yeah, he beat that guy up, or I heard he said that, or he said this, guys, let's all go and beat him up. Let's go sell popcorn, do that. That's not the life we want. That's not what we want friendship to be. We want friendship to be a community of peace, a community of unity. We want friendship to be a place where everyone looks up to, where it once used to be when we were about 5-10 years old. The elders remember better. That's where we want our community to be. That's what our community is to be. Have a better community. It benefit me so much. It'll benefit you as well. I'm not saying for my own sake. It will make my life easier for me. A bit it might do. But make your life much more make your life easier as well. Look, the young lads, our elders, myself included, we're going to be gone one day. We'll be sleeping in our graves. You don't realize the responsibility you have on your shoulders. But you guys have got a great responsibility than all the elders put here together. Do you know why? Because it's only getting harder and harder to act upon Islam. Okay, because it gets harder. So for you to act upon Islam and help others is going to be even harder. But if we sort ourselves out from now, then it'll be easier. I'll mention 2 things which kind of goes off topic here, but it's important so that I don't forget the end mostly. Firstly, Jazakallah to all the donors that have paid towards the food, etc. throughout the entire Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your donations. And for every morsel of food that everyone's eaten, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept efforts they made through that as well, inshallah. And the next thing is, this is a massive thing, that to come forward yourself and say, I want to donate. Instead of waiting for Allah to say, we need money, to come forward and say, I want to donate myself. Yeah. And the next thing is, next week, inshallah, we decided, it might sound bad, right? But it's embarrassing that we've only got 3 people in I'tikaf. Absolutely embarrassing. We've got 3 people in I'tikaf. From a community of 1,000, 1,500 people, we've got 3 people in I'tikaf. Embarrassing. There's people here that could do I'tikaf. There's people that we can't. There's people at work, no problem. There's people here that can't do I'tikaf, but we refuse to. I fear for the day when we have to make an announcement that there's no I'tikaf. Please can someone come? We've had that in Preston 2 years ago. I must have to make an announcement. There's no one here to I'tikaf. Can anyone from Preston come and do I'tikaf at our masjid? Because you'll be sinful if you don't. The whole community is sinful. So what we decided to kind of encourage people to come to the masjid and spend time in the masjid. It's a bit late, so inshallah we'll do better next year. But next Friday, inshallah, we'll send the messages out. So exact the timings. Currently, as it stands, it's coming from Friday night into Saturday morning till Zohar. So the khatam is on Friday night. You have your milk, no problem. And then we come back to the masjid. We come back into the masjid, and then we'll have a whole night schedule. You get your sleep, don't worry. And then you stay till Zohar, and then you can go home. A schedule might change. We're going to make mashwara again. Let's speak a few things have come to mind, what Allah has mentioned. But we'll send some more. I would encourage every single person to come. Every single person, we're only asking for 12 or 14 hours of your time. Say inshallah at least. Say inshallah. Come, bring your friends with you. It's not about numbers. It's about learning how to spend time in the masjid. Look, I'm going to tell you straight on, I'm going to be very blunt. If you're going to mess around, don't come. If you're to chill, don't come. If you're going to stand outside in the passage, if you're going to stand by a shurak, if you're going to stand outside, don't come. Just go home. Just go outside and stand. Just go to somewhere else and stand there. Don't disturb people that want to do it properly. The whole point is that we get used to itikaf. We understand how to spend time in the masjid. And then inshallah, next year, this should be full inshallah. For the people that can. Even there's young, old as well. I'm not blaming the young people only. I'll be very fair to you guys. Not only blame the young, because I know the youth get a lot of blame for a lot of things which I don't think they fully deserve. So to be fair, it's not only the young people. There's a lot of elderly people that need to kind of come forward as well, because young people can't always take time off work anymore. It's not the same as 10, 15 years ago. Not everyone's working in HMRC, DWP anymore. Yeah, that can make time up earlier and then do half days or do no days in Ramadan. People are finding it difficult. We need our elders to kind of stand up a bit more and say, we'll take responsibility now. But young people as well, you can do itikaf, you can do nafar itikaf as well. Come, sacrifice, no problem, I'll do nafar itikaf. You can go home for a bit, go have a shower, come back if you want. What's that allowed in nafar itikaf? Oh, sure, actually, I shouldn't have said that, sorry. I shouldn't get to fiqh. I should have said that. I'll take that back. I'll ask Moulana later on. Yeah, but come to the masjid, guys. After Ramadan, I want every single person sitting here to make intention that, right, that's it. This Ramadan, I'm going to be in the masjid every day. And after Ramadan, I'm going to continue to come to the masjid. I'm going to bring my children with me, my sons with me. And more importantly for parents, tell your women folk at home and your daughters at home to pay namaz as well. Tell them to pay namaz, please. Because the boys we can handle, the girls we can't. The women are the ones that take care of the children. Yeah, we go to work, yeah? They are the ones that get how many months off? 10 months in maternity leave, is it? I don't know. 12 months, subhanAllah. How much do you get then? 9 months, subhanAllah. MashaAllah. Oh, you can speak. So Yusuf knows all about it. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Hoping he's got a second, inshallah. Yeah? Can take more time off work. Yeah? Just for the sake of taking time off work. But they are home, they do the tarbiyah of the children. It's important they have iman as well. Take some responsibility. Don't be scared. I'll tell you something. Once the women get onto something, whether anything, right? Once they go onto the iman side, you've had it. I tell you from experience, you've had it. If you tell your wife, wake up Fajr, she'll wake up and she'll kick you out of bed if she has to, or she'll drag you out of bed. But if you tell them something, trust me, they'll do it. That is the difference between men and women. Men go, it's all right. Women get out and do go. If you're in the house, they'll tell you, hey, I had a student today actually. He didn't come Fajr. His mom shouted at him. Mom told him off. He probably did a bit more than shouting at him. But that's what parents should be. I'm not saying he should be. I'm not saying he should be hit, but he should have. That's what parents should be doing. Because tomorrow he's not going to miss his Fajr anymore, inshallah. Tomorrow he'll come. Tomorrow his dad won't live without him. His dad's looking at me as well now. Yeah, he won't live without him. But that's how it should be. Even if you're 50 years old, your son should be scared of you. Okay, if I don't go to the masjid, my dad's going to come and say, okay, why went to the masjid for? Where were you? That's how it should be. Right? I've done enough shouting, I've done enough telling off. This is the whole year's rant, basically, yeah? This is what builds up in the whole year. I only get one, sometimes I think there's no chance they're going to let me do anything next year. Because all it happens, and everyone knows next year is going to be the same thing, and the same thing. And I said, but we need it. Am I right? Do we need it or not? No. Do we need it or not? It's good, we do need it. There's only, Bichar Talha, he stands there and tells you again and again and again. And there's only so much shouting he can do. Bichar Musa probably pull his back muscle if he shouts at you guys. Yeah, but sometimes we need someone else mention this to us. But it's not just about me shouting at you guys. It's about you going away and making intentions. If all I've done is sit here and shout, and you're going to go away and go back to normal, then my sitting has been useless. There's no point me sitting here. You have to go away and make this intention. Go away and choose one guy that you're going to change from this year to next year. Every year we see this. Those of you that come to Masjid anyway, that after Ramadan, we always have a few new additions to the Masjid. Some guy that never come to Masjid starts coming again. Why? Because he spent Ramadan wisely. He made the intention that, I'm changing. People go for Umrah, they come back and they change. People go for Hajj, they come back and they change. We have to make this change as well, inshallah. So guys, Jazakallah for listening. I said I won't apologize, I'm not going to apologize. I think everything that was said, if you disagree with me, come back to me later on and we can agree to disagree later on, inshallah. But keep these few things in mind. Inshallah, spend your last 10 days wisely, less than 10 days left now, inshallah. Make intention for i'tikaf as well for next week. Brothers with you, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us for our life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our iman strong. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from the diseases of the communities and of drugs and alcohol and gambling and curses which haven't gone to, and iman on earth which haven't managed to actually get into how many youngsters are actually turning away from iman, unfortunately, within our own areas. Inshallah, a topic for another time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a bit to use our abilities and our skills wisely within the community. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us steadfast on coming to the masjid, inhabiting the masjid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect the iman of our children as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this gathering and whatever Ramadan remains as well. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallah bihamdik, nashhadu la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Can I ask everyone, when you do go into the side rooms to eat, make sure you eat properly, inshallah, there's no rush. Can you go in from the, what's up just before? Are you going to do a program after this? Today is the 23rd night. Or you can do it, shall we just tell them to do the ibadat? Okay, so what we'll do then, guys, after you finish eating, if everyone could just offer 2 rakats. If you're going to go outside and sit there anyway, just come inside and offer 2 rakats before you go home. Ji? Yeah, so I think best if you do it individual. Just try and, guys, don't just walk off home after you finish eating. Go and do wuzu, pray 2 rakats. Let me give you a chance. Do for the people of Palestine. Bas, do for the people of Palestine. Don't go home without praying 2 rakats for the people of Palestine and people of Gaza. If they can't suffer that much, why can't we sacrifice 5 minutes of our time? Take that, inshallah. Jazakallah. We'll go from the, we'll go from the front doors. Please don't go from the back. Go from the front. Sit close together, inshallah. Jazakallah. Subhanallah. Subhanakallah. Muhammad. Nashhadu la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.